Hey everybody, welcome to the Sal And Angelo Podcast. Just me here hanging out with a very special guest in San Jose, Mr. Jim Jefferies.
Hello.
Thanks for coming, Jim.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here in my hotel room.
It is a great hotel room here. It's a little messy.
I don't think... See, this is the thing with hotels. It's very hard if you're a messy person to get better if you stay 200 nights a year in a hotel room, because that dumping shit everywhere.
Right. You don't let anyone come in either.
No, I don't let anyone come in for the whole weekend.
Right.
I don't like them in here, and then they just leave and the place stinks.
It looks like a disaster.
And there's just like minibar bottles on the floor.
So Jim's in town. We're doing the San Jose Improv a couple nights ago. First night in. I got to hang out with Jim at a bar, and I've never seen it happen. Jim got kicked out for not washing his hands.
Yeah, not washing my hands. I got kicked out of a bar. Well, the thing is, you came up to me before and you told me that the toilet attendant was a bit of a cock.
Yeah,
right?
he was a little aggressive.
Yeah. and he was very aggressive with his soap. So I did an old joke that I used to do before, which was, I know where my cock's been. I don't have to wash my hands. I haven't touched anything in here. And he radioed that I was a bit of a dick, and I was still in there talking. I stepped out of the bathroom, and security was waiting for me. And they go, "Oh, you upset the toilet attendant?" I go, "I upset him. He works in a fucking toilet."
He should be upset already.
Like this is the worst thing to happen to him today, was that I didn't wash my hands and made a joke about it. So here we go. Hold on. This is hello. No, I don't need the room cleaned today. All right, thank you.
What are the odds?
There you go, the room service people.
So then the big ass bouncer just pulls you out.
So the big ass bouncer pulled me out, and I was very like, oh come on, man. I was like, I tried to play the comedian card, which is that I'm performing over the road, and if you don't let me stay, then I'll tell people not to come to your bar after the gig. So he goes, "I don't care, sir. I don't care. I don't care. It's nothing to do with me. You have to leave the premises. You have to leave." And I was just like, "Are you being a fucking cock, mate?" So they go pay your tab. I'll be with you while you pay your tab. And my tab came to $13 because people had been buying me drinks.
Right.
So I went, "How can I be drunk off $13? And I was obviously drunk, but I was trying to use that.
You weren't really that drunk yet, though.
I wasn't really that drunk
No.
yet. So I was trying to use the rationale, like, I can't be drunk. It's $13. And so then we went next door to a bar called Tres Gringos.
Yes, Tres Gringos.
Tres Gringos. And we went in there, and as soon as we went there, the security guy really liked us and knew who I was, and so we were on free drinks. And then and then we went out on the balcony and we were drinking, and the balcony joins up with the balcony of the other bar. And so I was just saying to the security guard, "You're a cock." Over the thing. Like I'd gotten into this next bar. "You're a fucking cock."
And he kept flicking them off like Australian style.
Yeah, I was doing the two fingers like, "Fuck you. Fuck you. You're a cock. I didn't do anything wrong." And then the guy, I think he goes to complain about me. Right. Doing that. And so our manager of that bar comes up and goes, "Fucking hell, it's Jim Jefferies."
Yeah.
He comes next door and begs me to come back to his bar to have a drink. I said, "All right, but your toilet attendant and your security have to apologise to me." And then I couldn't get thrown out of that bar. I tried my hardest.
Yeah, we went back, and then it was funny because the security guard almost got in a fight with the manager.
Yeah.
They were arguing over you being there.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're just like, "Ha ha, fuck you fucking cunt."
I don't remember that bit. Were they getting into a bit of a...
They were getting into it, man. And then the bouncer was like, "Well, fuck, do whatever you want." And he just left. He walked away. So it was like, and then I remember you just kept coming over to me and just going, "Untouchable." We're untouchable, Sal.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't feel that way in general life. I don't want people listening to this thinking that's what I do.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But in that situation, I was victorious.
Oh yeah, that was a great moment. It was a weird bar though, because it was the first time I remember.
We were the only white people there.
Yeah, no girls would not look at us because we were white.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and our awesome fashion.
Because we were white, not because we're balding middle-aged men. And everyone else is in their early 20s, and we were just there, just standing around going, "Oh, hello, sweating from doing 2 shows that night. Yeah, it was because we were white.
That's exactly it.
They were being prejudiced.
Oh, shit. All right, so Jim's got his own podcast with Eddie If called Talking Shit.
Talking Shit or Talk. I think it might be called Talk Shit now. I'm not. But just put my name into iTunes, it'll come up.
Yeah, you do it, every week it comes out?
We
twice a week?
No, we do Tuesdays and Thursdays you get a new episode. And we just record them on like Monday. We record 2.
Okay.
And then we bash them out and off we go.
All right. So, Jim, originally from Australia, you were telling me you won some contest and then you went to England.
No, I didn't win a contest.
Did you say, why'd you go from Australia to England?
Oh, I just went over to see, I wasn't doing very well at comedy in Australia. I was doing well in the sense I was getting paid work, but it's very hard to eke out an existence as a comic in Australia.
Yeah, I bet.
There's 2 comedy clubs now in Sydney and a population of 5 million people. And that's not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and now with the only places you get open spots, so you have to go down there and you'd wait. And so when I sort of hit like 23, I just wanted to travel a bit. So I went over to England with no permits or anything. Like I had like a travelling permit visa, but I didn't have any work ones. And I just went and did a few clubs and told them that I was doing a lot better in Australia than I was actually doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I could get some stage time.
Right.
And then I was there for 9 years before I moved to America.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just started hanging out at the clubs?
I think my parents thought I'd be back after a year of travelling or something, and I just stayed.
And you just stayed in London?
Stayed, yeah.
And you just kept... So then you really kind of blew up to what, from Edinburgh?
Yeah, the Edinburgh Festival is where I had my success, yeah.
And you did you had a 1-hour show and you just...
1 hour show, which I think 6 or 7 shows I've done. And
wow.
And you just go up there each year. This will be the first time I haven't been in like at least 5 years, and I'm going to miss it a little bit. You know, I'm not going for the first time in ages. But I think I was getting a little bit. In the beginning, you go there and you try to win all the prizes or the awards, and I didn't win nothing, right? And then my audience grew each time, and then by the end, I was playing the biggest venue at the festival, and people were sort of seeing me in almost like a Vegas sort of way. Like, oh yeah, you go to Edinburgh, you see Jim Jefferies.
Yeah, you got the Jim Jefferies there.
Yeah. You go, it's like seeing fucking, the guy that sings Dunkershire or whatever, Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
I'd become like Wayne Newton, where people were just like, oh yeah, we see all these up and coming comics, and we'll check out Jim Jefferies. He sweared he did what he said he'd do on the tin. But no one was really digging it, so I think I got to have a year off, so they miss me.
Yeah, right. Wow, so then you've been in the States how long?
On and off for 3 years. I did my first gig over here 3 years ago.
Right, that's where I met you.
Yeah. Would that been 3 years ago? That was my first. Yeah,
it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd set foot in America to do comedy, and I remember because I came over here, and I had I hadn't. Oh, I'm not going to tell this story. It would actually get me in a bit of trouble. So I was about to tell a story about a visa, and I don't want anyone hearing about it. So I was sort of...
But so you came over here, and then because you went right on the road.
I flew straight into San Francisco, and I did the gig at Cobb's, and I remember I had like a pay-as-you-go phone that I bought in San Francisco.
You did. Yeah.
And then I stayed with, I moved into Eddie If's house. It was meant to be there for 2 months.
Uh-huh.
And I've been there ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know you went right down there.
Yeah, he was like the only guy I knew.
Oh, yeah, because you knew him from Australia?
Yeah, I'd met him in Australia. We'd done gigs in South Africa together, and I'd met him in Britain. And so I went and stayed in his little box room that can just fit a double bed, and it's still what I sleep in to this day.
Wow.
Everyone thinks, HBO special, and I must be living the high life.
Right. No?
I still live in this little tiny crappy bedroom, and Eddie has a lovely big bedroom. It's a nice house. But I'm only there a couple of days a week, so I don't worry.
It's just the two of you?
Just the two of us and a dog.
Wow.
We're like an old gay couple.
Yeah.
It's that weird thing. As soon as a dog's involved that we both take care of and stuff.
Then
it becomes a bit gay.
Yeah, it's like domestic partnership.
Well, Eddie's girlfriend has a dog as well that we could take care of as well, which is a little tiny dog that comes over. And I got a pinball machine in there. It was the only thing in the house that really looks like I own.
Right.
Because everything else is all eddied up.
Right. What's eddied up?
Oh, you got a lot of things in his house. Pictures of Eddie's achievements.
Really?
Yeah, it is a shrine to Eddie's career.
You have to bow when you walk in.
Yeah, there's like a medal from when he finished a triathlon. And there's like a picture of him when he played Vegas for the first time on the wall. Q magazine or whatever it is. GQ magazine once printed one of his jokes, and that's framed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You don't have anything besides a pinball.
I don't keep memorabilia, really.
Yeah, I don't.
I've got a storage area in London that has a bit of stuff in it. There's I've got a rolled up billboard, like a 20-foot long tarpaulin thing with my name on it.
Right.
And I don't know why I kept it, because I thought, well, that'll, come in handy,
It'll come in handy. It's 20 feet.
Yeah, I know. And I got it rolled up, and I'm like, I could put that on the side of my house or something.
So people know where you live.
I got a little bit of the hoard in me, a little tiny bit of hoard. My mother's a hoarder,
right.
like off that TV show, and I've got a little bit of it myself.
Right.
I try to fight with it a bit.
Well, you can't hoard down in your place in LA.
I have a little thing that's like with that the big tarpaulin where I think, one day if I'm really famous, that'll be like some collector's like. And they're like the ego in a person to think, well, this could be worth a lot of money because I'm going to get so big that someone's going to have a Jim Jefferies room in their house.
Their own little shrine.
Yeah. Like not even someone like Eddie Izzard has fans that would pay thousands to have an old Eddie Izzard poster. It's just the comics don't get followings like that. There is a few. Right. I'm sure some old Richard Pryor promotional material is probably worth a bit of coin. Yeah. And maybe some Carling stuff and. Definitely, like old Lenny Bruce posters would be worth something to somebody. Right. But I don't see, I don't see anyone with a Jim Jefferies poster in their house.
Are those three guys, are those like some of your influences, those three?
Carling and Pryor, yeah. I was never a Bill Hicks guy.
Really?
Yeah, and I get compared to him a lot, and I never was a big Bill Hicks guy. In the modern era, Doug Stanhope, Louis C.K., they were the best sort of that generation. But Carling definitely, and Pryor was. The funny thing was, I liked Pryor as a child before I knew he was a stand-up comedian.
From Superman?
I like these movies, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to go mad. Like the Toy, like these really crap films, Stir Crazy and that. Me and my brothers loved these films, And I didn't know he was a stand-up. I didn't see him do stand-up till I was about fucking 18 when I saw Live in Concert for the first time.
Which is, that's probably the best one.
I think that's the best DVD.
Yeah.
Stand-up DVD in the world. That's the best one.
Yeah. Live in Concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. And even Pryor said that he thought that was his best one.
Yeah, that was the best one. And I think Live and Smoking or whatever.
That was the first one, where he bombs.
Yeah.
He bombs. It's weird.
It's like he's dying up there.
Yeah.
And he's in front of like a lunch board.
Yeah.
And like real fans will go, but you could see where he was going with his material. Nah. And the comedy purists, it's crap. It's really crap. I tried to enjoy it, like I bought it and I tried to enjoy it and I watched it several times and that's crap.
No, I've seen it once and then I was like,
And it's like the audience is like nervous and he's standing in one position.
Right.
Like with the microphone in the stand.
The whole time.
Yeah, and then you see Live in Concert, it's like he's fucking jumping around and he's doing the impersonation of the dog jumping over the wall. And
right.
And the shooting the car and all that.
That's one of the best bits ever. Yeah.
And when God speaks to him and he's eating too much pork and he has the heart attack.
Right. Yeah, and his kids. He was playing with his kids.
Yeah.
So when you started coming over here to the States, was it tough adjusting, or is it nah? Because I remember you said after your first tour you didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I do find the road here to be very hard. Getting on planes, pain in the ass. The road in England's really easy. You just, all the it's hardly ever is a gig more than 200 miles away from you because it's such a small place. Yeah. And so you get in the car, you drive up to the gig, and then you drive back.
Yeah.
You stay there for the weekend, but you drive back on the Saturday after you finished your last gig and you're home. Where here, you gig till Sunday, and then you got to get in on the Tuesday because you got to do radio on the Wednesday. So you get like one day off, and and you're leaving on Monday and you're flying, and
so it's more the scheduling, not the crowds.
No, the crowds are fine. Yeah, the crowds are fine.
It is cool seeing like from that first week you were here to now, how you have your own following now.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean, because I remember when that first week, you're like, I'm more famous in England. like, none of these people know who the fuck I am. And now you actually, because of the HBO special, you got like fans.
Yeah. Well, it's the American fan base is very loyal. Actually, they come and see me several times. Like,
really?
Which means I have to change my material a lot more than I'm more comfortable doing.
Right.
You know, because my fan base is small, but they're seeing me like 2 or 3 times on the weekend, and then every time I come into their town, and you're like, fuck, I'd rather a bigger fan base that saw me occasionally.
Yeah.
You know, that would make life a bit easier. not that I'm bitching about the people coming all the time. Thank you, you know.
Right. But see, that's what I really respect, that you try and write new shit every year for them.
Yeah, I try.
Because there's like so many people who just don't give a fuck about that.
Well, I think the benchmark now is really Louis C.K.
Right.
He's bringing out an hour a year. I don't think he was always like that from what I've been told.
No, yeah, what I heard is that for 15 years, it took him to get a 45-minute set.
Yeah.
And now every year he's kind of doing. It's insane how much he does.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. So this fucking Jim's got something big coming up this weekend. He's going to Wrigley Field. Throw out the first pitch. On Thursday. You've been practicing?
I have been, but I haven't. I'm feeling a bit under the weather at the moment, a bit fluey, so that's an excuse for me not to practice again.
Right.
I can find excuses not to go to the gym or to eat well.
Right. Have you gone to the gym since you've been in San Jose?
Once.
Did you?
I went Friday.
All right.
It was more sitting around the sauna with a hangover, but I'm nervous. 60 feet is a long way.
As long as you get it to the catcher, I think you're fine.
That's what I'm nervous about. I don't want to throw a strike. I'm not even thinking about a strike.
Right.
I'm just thinking about the distance and not looking like a cock.
Right. And then you have to. You come out there with the jersey.
Yeah.
In front of all the people.
And I'll wear the hat as well. I'm not gonna.
Little Cubby's hat.
Yeah. I know that my head's gonna be on the Megatron, and I don't like that. I've had things like that before where you just look at yourself in a big screen. Like I did a Kevin and Bean in LA do a charity gig. It was like 7,000 people at the Gibson. They had a big Megatron screen behind us of our heads when we came and did our sets, and no, I don't like it. I think that's how people look at me. Because in your head, you think you look different. When you look in the mirror, you always hold your head on an angle where
right.
Where your jaw's or you're looking at yourself straight on. But if you just tilt your head like 2 degrees, all of a sudden you're fat and bald and straight on.
And then you got to sing.
Take me out of the ball game.
Have you been practicing?
I've been practicing 2 ways. I got 2 options. I got the jokey way, which is just yelling it like a drunk, like "Take me out to the ball game," which is one option.
You sound retarded.
But then there's the option of trying to do it seriously, which to me is more Frank Sinatra. Would take me out to the ball game. Not even Frank Sinatra, like
a swinging guy.
No, like what's his name's impersonation of fucking Frank Sinatra? The guy who got shot by his wife.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman's impersonation.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to be doing it, probably. Phil Hartman, there was a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude, his wife went crazy, man, because she wasn't famous like him.
They blamed Andy Dick for getting her back on coke, but I don't know. You can't blame that. You can't blame it. People make their own choices, don't they?
Right.
It was pretty sad, though. Then she shot herself, didn't she?
Yeah. There's an opening in Saturday Night Live, like when they would introduce all the people. Well, there's one where Phil Hartman's there, and there's a woman at the table. You just see her back, but her earring is swinging. That's his wife. The reason the earring is swinging, supposedly she kept wanting to be in the shot, so she kept turning and looking. And they're like, "No, we don't want your face in the shot. It's just Phil." So she would turn, and they quickly get the shot, and that's why the earring was swinging.
Oh, right.
So it's very interesting. So, like, it seemed from what they painted the picture, she really wanted that fame.
Was she an actress or something? Or
I don't know.
like an aspiring actress?
Yeah, that's what I assume. And then, that's just a jealousy thing, I think.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, he wasn't... I suppose he was very famous when he was in movies and stuff like that. I was about to say he wasn't that big, but he was.
You know what he co-wrote? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's the first movie that Benito del Toro is in.
That's right, he is in it. He's the dog boy.
He's the dog boy.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a sequel. Big Top Pee-wee.
All right.
Yeah, he's in that. You know who the first one? Tim Burton directed it.
Yeah.
That's his first directorial debut.
Because Tim Burton did all the plasticine stuff, didn't he?
Right.
That. And he was. I've been watching documentaries on a movie called Yellowbeard, which is regarded as one of the worst films ever, but it's one of my favourite movies.
Yellowbeard?
Yellowbeard.
What is that?
So good. It's Graham Chapman,
Uh-huh.
and John Cleese and Eric Idle. So those three from Python, but Graham Chapman wrote it. And then it's got Peter Cook from Dudley Moore's partner.
Right.
Peter Cook, Spike Milligan, and then it's got Cheech and Chong in it. And it's like just this film about a pirate. And it's PG because I don't think anyone ever bothered to watch it.
Right.
But it's got like, I counted like 25 rape jokes.
Really?
In it, yeah. And really aggressive rape jokes.
And this is from the 70s?
No, it's from probably 1988 or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good film.
Yellowbeard,
yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's funny, you can get it on iTunes, rent it.
Really?
But there's just scenes where the pirate walks by and he sees this woman standing there and he drags her into the bushes and rapes her. And he drags her into the bushes and rapes her and then you just see the bushes rattling and like a bra and a panties being thrown out. And then she has an orgasm at the end.
Oh man!
But this is what I find so funny. My parents knew that we liked Monty Python and stuff as kids, so our parents got us this film, and we used to sit and watch it once a week.
Right.
And I look back at it one of the opening scenes in his wife comes to visit him in prison. She goes, "Do you remember the last time we were having a kiss and a cuddle?" And he goes, "When I was raping you." And she goes, "Well, you could put it that way, right?" He goes, "I'm sure I killed the last person I raped." And then she goes, "The afterplay was a bit rough."
Wow.
And it's PG.
Wow.
And constant rape jokes. You've never seen any. I'm telling you, I'm not underestimating this. Constant rape jokes.
Yellowbeard.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Do you get any shit for what you say on stage?
Of course, everyone does.
After the show, people come up?
Yeah, not so much anymore. I did in the early days, but now people who come to see me for the most part know who I am or have seen something on YouTube or something. And so you don't get that. But it's harder when you're starting out.
I gotta imagine.
When you're a dirty comic and you're sandwiched in the middle of a guitar act and an impersonator.
Right.
And everyone's going for the guitar act, and then you come off and just go, fucking rape some bird or do some mildly racist material about, all of a sudden people just go, why is he saying this?
Right.
Have you ever been on stage and said something offensive and the audience haven't laughed, and then it even makes it offensive for you? You're sitting there going, why would I say that?
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah. Did you feel like you hold back sometimes then? Because of those situations.
Yeah, I had a lot more cutesy material back then.
Oh, really?
I had enough stuff that I could, if that joke didn't work, I could do a cute joke there.
Right. But you always kind of wanted to go to that.
Well, it was just a gradual evolution. You tell the jokes that you think are funny. And so there was a lot of jokes that I wasn't saying because I thought the audience would be upset that I found funny. But see, the thing is, me personally, this is just how I've always been, joking around with my friends and everything. But if I had my way, I'd like to be like a silly comic. I'd like to be one, but I'm just not a silly guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I as I said, I grew up watching Monty Python. That's what I was really into.
Right.
And I'd love to be one of those guys, like a John Cleese type bloke. But
it's not. Yeah.
It's not in me.
Yeah, because I remember you saying on stage the other night how if you were cleaner, you'd have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Yeah, it's just you can't. I don't write a good clean. And I'm not anti-clean comedy either.
Right.
I like Brian Regan's one of my favourite comics.
Right.
And he's clean as clean.
Right.
And Seinfeld was clean. I love Seinfeld, but it's It's yeah, I don't know.
You can't be what you're not.
You can't be what you're not, yeah. And then it always feels forced. And the fact is, I write good, dirty jokes as well. And a lot of people can't write good, dirty jokes. A lot of people... One of my skills, I believe, is I can say offensive things, and there's something about me that I get away with it.
Yeah, you got this, like... I don't know, you're lovable, or, you know, it's just like you did that joke about when my mom raised me on good manners, you know? I mean, it's like you're like that... I don't know. You do get away with it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
So the thing is, if I've got that skill, sometimes I watch offensive comics or young lads who are trying to be offensive.
Right.
And they're saying things that are half as bad as me, but even I'm sitting in the audience going, "Oh, don't say that."
Yeah, it's more shock too.
Yeah,
maybe.
if they don't have a level of charm to them, so you know that's the skill I've got. I might as well use it.
The accent's got to help too.
Yeah, but I do all right in Australia as well. You know, I sometimes get I get a little bit of grief now from Australia because my accent's sort of 50% British, you know, and so I get a little bit of like I'm a fraud type of internet type of talk where you know, because I'm not famous in Australia. I go back there once a year and do some small theatre gigs or small club gigs, and you know, just try to dip my toe in there. But I more go back to visit my mum. Right. And the will for me to take over Australia is not as big as you'd think. The only reason I want to do well in Australia is so family members and guys I went to school with would be impressed. Right. You know?
Yeah.
But you outgrow that.
Yeah.
In your early 20s, that means a lot to you. I'm going to show everyone.
Right.
And then, you can get tired of proving people wrong. You just whatever.
Just make my money.
Yeah, I just want to make my money, have a couple of hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, and then do my jokes and try to be a good comic and try to make the career go bigger and all that type of stuff. But I was so career orientated in my mid-20s that now I'm really considering taking it all back a little bit and just enjoying life a bit more. Yeah.
Because you're on the road all the fucking time, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cut my workload down by about a quarter next year.
Okay.
You know, have more time off. Because I'm a 48, 50 week guy.
That's sad. That's insane.
Stuff, different, you know. Different city each time.
You were telling me this the other day that you never write anything down.
Yeah, and I probably should. I think people think when I say that I'm bragging, but I just don't have the order, or I wouldn't never read it. I'm too lazy to read it.
But so you just think of the story.
I think of the story. The problem that I have is all my stories are true and legit and everything, but occasionally I'll have if you don't write it down, you can nick another comic's line or something. So you got to be very mindful of those things seeping in. Right. Because if you don't write it down, so I'm very conscious now of have you ever heard this joke before? Know, I try to do that as much as possible. And then how I sort of write material is I'll be on radio or start doing something like this, and I'll tell a funny story, and then I'll think, all right, I'll give that a go. Right. On stage, you know.
You just remember how you said it right there.
Well, I don't think I ever tell a joke exactly the same way each time. I always vary little bits up and here and there. There's some jokes that I do, of course. Right, right. But I just try to remember the gist of it.
It's fucking crazy, dude. I don't know how you can remember an hour and 20 minutes like that.
Oh, I remember more than that. Yeah. I've got I reckon, I know for a fact I've written at least 6 hours of stand-up.
Wow. And nothing's in paper.
And nothing's on paper. No, there's no recordings. There's recordings of some of it on DVD.
Right.
There's at least 2.5 hours of different material on DVD. But out of that 6 hours, I could get on stage and I reckon I could do 2.5 to 3 of it.
Wow.
Right away.
Without a problem.
But there's some of it that's lost forever.
Right.
And I know I've done it because I did a different Edinburgh show. There's some of it that's because I've never written it down.
Or recorded it.
It no longer exists.
Wow.
Because I've forgotten it completely.
Wow. And you never record yourself on stage with a little thing?
No.
Wow.
No, what am I going to do with that?
That's
am I going to listen to it or when I get home? You know, I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't listen to the podcasts or anything. You know.
Right. I was going to say so your specials now, you got I Swear to God, that's the HBO one.
Yeah.
And you got coming out Alcoholocaust.
Yeah.
That comes out what? Showtime?
Yeah, but we don't have an exact date yet, so
okay.
I'm not going to tell you exact date. I've got a vague idea, but I'd rather not say until
all right, but that comes out in the States.
Yeah.
You were just saying to me about I Swear to God. It was just funny, the different levels, how you did the HBO special, last year
Yeah.
in New York. You were at the...
It was 2009, I recorded that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And then, my bad. And then they put you up at the nice suite in the W.
Yeah.
You do the shoot. Then you go out to eat. Then you went and got drunk. And you stopped by. You just broke up with a girl?
Yeah. I think I was newly single around then.
Yeah, and so then you're kind of sad.
I was kind of sad, and I'd had like the pinnacle of my career, and they wouldn't let me party with anyone. I had to go out to dinner with all the directors and everything, and so and then in the end I went out drinking with like one of the camera guys, and then I got leathered with him, and then he said, "You got to go back to your hotel, Jim." Like, and I was like, "All right," and I stumbled back to the hotel. And I went past McDonald's. Now in Australia and Britain, they sell 20 pieces of nuggets in one box, like a family-sized portion of nuggets. And I thought I didn't want 6, I didn't want 9, I wanted 20 nuggets. I wasn't going to eat anything else, and I have like 10 different dipping sauces. And the Indian bloke didn't know that. I didn't know that he didn't understand. I didn't know there was no 20-piece nuggets.
Right.
He just thought, he goes, "You want 20 packets?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he gave me 23-piece nuggets. So I had 60 nuggets. 60 nuggets, all in those little bags. And then it came to like a really exorbitant price for what I remember 20 nuggets costing. But I was like, fucking America. And I carried this big bag of nuggets and eating along the road with like dipping sauce in this big bag. And I woke up in the nicest hotel room in the world with fucking about 40 nuggets on the bed with me. Literally just in the bed, nuggets.
I just love that because you're at the top. You hit this high point in your career. You just did an HBO special. And then you're walking down the street drunk with a bag of nuggets.
Yeah, a bag of nuggets. I couldn't have been at a lower point.
It's such a highs and lows of this, man.
And the thing was, I'd already gone out to dinner. I just had to do something that was still open and interact with people, you know.
Right. All right, Jim Jefferies, thanks for giving me the time to do this. And what do you got coming up? You got Chicago this week.
Chicago Comedy Festival, and then I don't know what I've got after that. I never looked that far forward.
Look it up, JimJefferies.com. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Ciao.
Is that all right?
That was perfect. Thanks, buddy.